that the new book, Finding Grace When You Lose Your Shoes, is now out. Prompts on divine grace and new facts and ideas about human brains that come from new neural discoveries, but are expressed in ideas that are conversational for the adult reader, for the person who's feeling like your shoes got lost, you failed at something, something failed you, life was unfair. And this book is filled with images and triggers and short reflections that allow you to see the parts of divine grace defined as unconditional love. Divine unconditional love, bigger than yourself, based on divinity's perfection and not on your deserving it. That two those two components have come together for me for the 40 years I've been studying the brain, and until I recently published an article bringing them together in a peer-reviewed journal, I did not see that I was going to be the author to bring them together. Well, I finally am, in a reflection that's conversation. Intelligences that you have that you can use daily to keep your brain thriving and alive, and under grace when you can sketch problems in sand and etch possibilities in gold. Such as the Namango family, which is a family of 6 fictitious characters, all with real brain parts that you come to the table with daily. You'll ask questions through a newly developed two-footed question that has one foot dipping into content and one foot dipping into your interests and things that you love to do as you grow grace and wisdom through these questions. Represent in fun ways that can be helpful to you on a daily basis so that you can replace problems with new possibilities. Brain Center 25 years and probably emulated grace and brain facts more excitingly than anybody I've known in a lifetime, who passed very recently, much before her time and without much warning for any of us. Chapter by invitation soon, with many other top university chapters in the book on mentorship, a new kind of mentorship that was sparked and stirred and triggered by the notion of grace that tackles discovery with a what if attitude and comes up with a very new kind of mentoring where all teach, regardless of age, position, or developmental readiness. All learn and all lead. How do you do it? What does it look like? How can it happen? How can it prosper entire communities as well as all the individuals concerned? Power of grace in action in this book. The book is more interested in the lived experience of grace and stories about that lived experience. So let's see it as a trigger, not as a book of research. The research can be tracked back to my blog, which is brainleadersandlearners.com. This is a book of triggers, conversationally, through questions you'll have a lot of fun asking, such as, why do people suffer while God looks on but fails to intervene? You'll find that through the lived experience of grace presented in this book. How can your visual IQ show a trophy of infinite favor to you in a given day? You'll find out these answers as you engage the reflections in this book. I have written to spark ideas, especially about the human brain and learning and leading in upper grades or adult levels. These reflections to be helpful. If not, and if there is something I could still add to your questions about faith and the human brain, or grace and its lived experience with the human brain, don't hesitate to ask me, because I likely have already written on it, or I'd be willing to, and I'd be willing to engage you in that conversation. So leave a comment or question on the Ask a Question tab to the right of my rating tab on TPT. My site is Ellen Weber Brain-Based Tasks for Upper Grades, and I hope this book of reflections, a lifetime gathering of bringing together what it means to have a lived experience of grace with living the new neurodiscoveries of the human brain, all in conversational tone, triggers for your own wisdom, wonder, and excitement and applications. I hope you enjoy it and that you'll contact me.